Hi Aries, this is Kajora Lovely with your general reading for the month of June 2019. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Water Baby Tarot who mentioned me in one of her videos, a couple of her videos. And thank you to all of my new subscribers who found me through her. I'm excited to have you here. So in this general reading, we're going to go over your general energy for the month of June and then what's coming up with work, love, and money, and then a couple things for you to keep in mind this month. For those of you who are curious, I'm reading with the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. Okay, so let's see what's going on with Aries for June 2019. Love is in the air. And love. And money. Okay. So I said love is in the air because the first thing influencing you is the Two of Cups, which is usually a love card. This is about a symbiotic relationship. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic. It's usually about a relationship where you're putting in as much as you're getting out, that kind of thing. Also, where you are at in the beginning of this month or throughout the month is the Ace of Swords, which I love this for you guys as a fire sign. Although swords are technically an air element, but this is usually about a new beginning. It can be a sort of triumph, though, for some of you. So it can be usually a new intellectual or spiritual journey. It can also mean a victory of some sort, possibly related to a relationship. What's influencing you this month is the Chariot, Cancer energy, but the Chariot is about things moving forward. So there is a lot of forward momentum. I feel like this could be related to pretty much everything in your life. Work, love, projects, all that kind of stuff. What's also influencing you is the Tower in reverse. And sometimes this card can seem a little scary. I actually feel like this is you coming out of a situation of conflict. That it could be that something fell apart in the past and you're moving forward from it. It doesn't, it feels like there's some dark energy coming at you, but I'm hearing you're going to be able to see your way through it. So it's not that there is no way for you to find your way out of it. There is. And I'm hearing like move toward the light. So I would see that as in when you feel like you're in a dark situation, look for the things that bring light into the environment, right? So like the things that make you feel happy, loved, make you feel positive, the things that make you laugh, that don't make you feel like it's, or even, physically warm, that kind of thing, that make you feel good inside. Not things that make you feel cold, scared, alone, isolated, that kind of thing. And I'm hearing you'll know who to trust. So I feel like that'll help too, is that to trust your instincts on what people you can trust, depending on what's going on in your life. So in the near future, you've got Temperance, which is also the card for Sagittarius, but this is about feeling an internal emotional balance. Well, it's funny because this looks like Hermes in this deck, who's a messenger god. So I also see this as there's the potential for good things to come in your life in the future. And you've also got the Ace of Cups, which can, again, be a new relationship or something that brings you a lot of happiness and satisfaction. I say that because it looks like things are going to be a little tricky this month when it comes to love. The very first card you've got for love is the Magician in reverse, which usually means that you may feel like you're having trouble manifesting what you want in a relationship, or you're feeling disempowered when it comes to your love life. It could be that some of you are in a relationship with somebody who maybe there's some toxic behavior going on. But either way, you're not feeling fully in your power. You don't feel like you're able to create the things that you want for yourself. You've also got the Five of Cups, which I know this looks kind of intense in this card, but usually this is about things have been spilled. There's spilled wine. There's some things there that haven't gone well, and you're probably focusing more on those than the things that are still going well in your life. And the trick with the reminder with that one is the bad may have outnumbered the good, but the good is still there. It still exists. What I'm hearing for some of you is that it's reticent. Like it's hidden. Let's pull a card on that. So for those where the good seems to be hiding, what's your suggestion for them? Four of Cups in reverse. So that means overcoming disappointment. Anything else? Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So with that, I would take that to mean the trick is overcoming disappointment in situations where someone wasn't willing to put in the effort. It could be that somebody wasn't willing to put in the time and effort into a relationship, or isn't right now. They're making it clear they're not going to put in the effort going forward, and that's making you feel disappointed, where you feel like this person, are things really going that well? This person didn't think I was worth the effort. And it could also be vice versa, obviously, but someone's saying something and they're kind of swearing in it, but I feel like it's really staying true to yourself is the key in this scenario. Which makes sense because then you've got the Hermit here, which is all about going inward. This is about spending some time with yourself, trusting your own internal guidance. I feel like some of you may have friends that are giving you your advice and you're like, oh my God, no. And this is really taking time alone, not being afraid to go within and check in with yourself and see what you really need, what really works for you, and listen to your own advice. And I feel like, and listen to your own heart about what it is that you want when it comes to love. I just want to pull one more card to leave you with. What positive advice do you have for Aries for the month of June in love? Queen of Pentacles. I see this as focusing on work, focusing on home, focusing on the things that make you happy. I think that's really making your home pretty, working on making money, saving up money, that kind of thing. That's turning your focus inward a little bit. And I would say, just going back to the Two of Cups, it's also focusing on the relationships that are mutually beneficial and nurturing, where you're nurturing the other person just as much as they're nurturing you, and vice versa. Okay. Now, when it comes to work, the first card you've got is the Nine of Swords. Some of you may be feeling a little anxious when it comes to work this month. And it could be, for some of you, you got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you may have been juggling more than one thing and may have had to drop one of those things. Or you decided not to keep juggling. For some reason, someone's saying of your own high-key volition. The burping is channeling. It's usually when I'm getting messages. Like maybe some of you are juggling too much, so you were meant to drop something because you couldn't carry both of those things forever, or all of those things. And I think for some of you, there's a challenge in letting go. I'm hearing it's hard for you to make space in your own life for something else. There's something about to-do lists, always feeling like you have to get something done. I mean, it's not that big of a surprise because for Aries, there's a lot of like, you're like, go, go, go. You know, you're the conqueror in the tarot, you're the emperor. You want to move on to the next thing. And so when you're in a little bit of a standstill, it's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do here? So you've got the Page of Wands. Now, some of you, this could be taking a class. It could be going to, or some of you are about to go to school. It's funny because in this particular card, he's listening for good news. He's listening for direction for what to do next. I feel like for some of you, there could be something to that of listening to what other people have to say, almost like they're saying, I think I could do this, and you're going, mm-hmm, yeah, and then your mind going, not for me, next. And then the next person says something and you're like, oh, interesting idea. I don't think I'll quite do that, but let's think of something else. It could be that, staying open to new opportunities. It can also be starting out on your own venture, starting on a side project. Usually it relates to creativity, action, communication. Someone's saying wildfire. If that means something to you, great. Let's see, what else advice do you have for Aries related to work? Hierophant in reverse. So I take that to mean it's not traditional. So it could be, it's weird. I feel like maybe some of you were let go from a job and you're thinking of doing something on your own, part-time, full-time, in the meantime. That might be the way to go, especially if you've been experiencing some anxiety. What other advice do you have for Aries? And so it's meant to be something a little bit non-traditional, a little bit different. Eight of Cups. Some of you aren't necessarily leaving something behind. So it could be a side hustle. It could be that you're taking some classes on the side, you're gaining more information. It's not a traditional trajectory, not a traditional path, outcome, line of work, whatever it is. The Eight of Cups in reverse means that if you have another job, you may not necessarily be leaving that, because you're meant to find home inside yourself. That's usually what that card means. I'm just going to pull one more. Oh, but it could also be with these two together, at the Eight of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Cups in reverse. If you don't leave, you may not necessarily be happy in the workplace that you're in. I obviously cannot tell you whether or not you should leave a job. That is a decision only you can make. But let's ask, what is the outcome if Aries leaves their current line of employment? Oh, okay. You won't necessarily be feeling creative or in your full element. The King of Wands relates to the fire element, and in reverse, I feel like you won't necessarily be feeling in your power. So it is important to move from a source of power and strength, to feel like you're capable, you're strong, something about collaborating. So I would say the main thing for now, Page of Wands energy, you're in the baby stages of figuring something out, something creative, possibly dealing with communication. Maybe take some classes, get some more information, gain some more experience, get some more insight. You know, it's more like you're in recon mode when it comes to work, of figuring out if you want to move on, where you want to go. I feel like that's the action step you can take to move out of that anxiety, is to just gather more information right now. Test the waters a little bit in some things, see what you like, see what resonates with you, what sounds good, what doesn't. And then you can make a decision later on. Okay, so money. Page of Cups in reverse, not necessarily good news coming in right away. Or I feel like this is the trajectory for the month. Been coming in feeling like there's not enough money. Then you've got the Five of Pentacles, feeling that sense of scarcity and lack, like you're not really getting to even access the opportunities that might make your life a little bit easier or give you more money. But then, Knight of Cups, you do have good news coming in, and it's some serious good news. So, anything else you want to say about money for Aries? Okay. Hanged Man in reverse. So I usually see this as a reminder, whatever has happened financially that you're not necessarily thrilled about, there's usually a reason why these things happen. And the point is to not necessarily feel like a martyr, to not feel like, oh, woe is me, I've been treated so unfairly. You know, it is to not look at it like, well, if this hadn't happened and this hadn't happened, this would be better. I really feel like what's done is done. The past is in the past. What can you do moving forward? You know, with work, it's really recon. How can you make more money? Or how can you move into a different job where you can make money, or even move up with wherever you're at and make more money there? Yeah, I really feel with that Hanged Man in reverse, it's that, can you let go of some sorrow or blame or some past regret related to money. And it could be if you have some debt that you're paying off or something like that. And then, but there is good news coming in. So that's good. Okay, now let's see. What should Aries keep in mind for the month of June? Well, this is good. Wheel of Fortune upright. Things are getting better. Things are moving in your favor this month. Yay! That's exciting. So this usually means that you've been coming out of a period where things didn't feel all that great, but they're getting better now. You're also getting out of a period of conflict. Now, this can be mental, that you've been like mentally thinking, oh my God, kind of like that anxiety, but I would say it's more so about fighting with yourself about what you think or feel, or what you think or feel you should do, or something like that. So this is usually the conflict is coming to an end. And again, it could also be a fight with someone else, or even multiple people. So 8 of Swords, when it comes to feeling trapped, usually by thoughts, something that makes you feel trapped or stuck, not necessarily feeling hopeful, the Star in reverse. So what should Aries do about that? Can you clarify that? Well, okay. So with this, it's usually, there's some mindset, because the swords are air, so they're thoughts. So this relates to, there's some mindset or situation that makes you feel trapped. Like you're beholden to other people, you're not quite where you want to be, something like that. And with the Star in reverse, you're not necessarily seeing the light in the dark. You're not moving toward that light. You're seeing the darkness and thinking, oh my God, everything is terrible. Now, this could also just be the situation that you're in. You're not necessarily feeling ambitious when it comes to work. The Knight of Wands in reverse. I see this card as your ambition to move forward. By the way, how funny is the artwork in that card? I love it. You're not really feeling ambitious. You don't really feel this energy. You're not feeling like you're moving somewhere where you want to be. And that's frustrating. And at the same time, there's some awakening, epiphany, realization that you're meant to happen with the Judgment card in reverse. That's not really going on. So the only card that's upright here is Queen of Cups. Now this card is all about, I usually see it as empathy, but in this case I feel like it's compassion. Queen of Cups relates to emotions and almost near emotional mastery, sometimes the feminine aspect of emotions. So in this case, I see this as have compassion for yourself first and then others. You know, this is really, I feel like be kind to yourself. It feels like for some of you, you've just gone through something pretty traumatizing or traumatic or difficult, something that's been kind of hard for you. And this feels like go easy on yourself, whatever it is. You know, it's, I'm hearing you can't carry this weight forever, whatever that means to you. That it's really whenever it feels like for some, like this could have happened sometime in the past. So maybe childhood, teenage years, something like that. Who knows? Only you know. But if there's something that you feel is like a weight or a burden or a mindset or something that makes you feel like you can't even really see past this particular barrier and get out beyond it to go do something or feel more free, I feel like have compassion for yourself with the situation that may have put you in that mindset in the first place. I'm hearing that compassion will set you free. So I think that says all that needs to say about that. Yeah, the compassion will set you free from that mindset. So I would say to a certain extent, it's even forgiving yourself, but having compassion for yourself and saying, I was young, I was foolish, I was selfish, I was hurt, whatever, you know, whatever the situation was for you, of having kindness and compassion for yourself. And one thing you can even do, I would say, you know, and I'm also a Reiki healer, and in Reiki healing, we do a fair amount of inner child healing. So however you were, however old you were at that age. And if this happened over multiple years, I would say either at the time when there was probably the most trauma or at the beginning. You could even go like a year before. You can imagine yourself at that age. And I do a meditation. I usually do this at night, these kinds of things. I meditate usually at night before I go to sleep, because then it's easy for me to just slip into sleep afterward. But you can do this whenever you want, whatever your practice is. But imagine that you are sitting there holding yourself as your inner child at that age, and giving yourself all of the love that you didn't get then, and all of the love that you wish you'd had. And you can even say affirming things. You can say whatever you want, but just I feel like be as gentle and kind and compassionate as you possibly can. And if it's something that happened recently, you could do the same thing. Just put your hands over your heart, I feel, and say the same thing. And it might take a couple times, but try it, and make sure you do this in a space where you feel comfortable, because obviously this could be pretty deep and intense. So some feelings might come up that you may not want other people to see. But I feel like that's something that could help with that moving forward. So anyway, yeah. Overall though, you've got some little rough patches. You're meant to do some internal work, look for new opportunities when it comes to work, but things are moving forward, again, with the Chariot, and they're moving in your favor with the Wheel of Fortune. So it's going to be a very interesting month for you. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and share this video, comment, and let me know which parts resonate with you. I hope you all have a wonderful month of June, and I'll see you all again next month.